Hi everyone, I wanted to share with you a few of my favorite font resources, and this is I'm going to cover a resource for personal use, commercial use, as well as a paid resource. This should cover all your bases for what you need as far as designing anything for print design or web graphics. If you are looking for web fonts, you can find web fonts on the paid MyFonts website that I will go over. But for web fonts, I would check on what dashboard you're using, what interface you're using. Google Fonts is often one that I use, but that goes more into graphic design rather than vector design. So for now, as far as vector fonts and logo design, I always stick with these three resources. So the first resource I wanted to mention is for personal use. When you're starting out and playing with your fonts in CorelDRAW and learning how to edit them and putting together personal projects, Dafont.com is a good resource. They have lots of fonts on here. It's an easy install. The only thing that you do need to be careful with is to make sure that over here you're reading what the permission is for each download. They do vary per download. All of these state that they're free for personal use. Some request for a donation, but since it says free for personal use, you know that this is not an authorized font to use on commercial projects, which is why if I'm ever working on a client project, I don't visit Dafont.com. Instead, I visit fontsquirrel.com. Fontsquirrel.com is all free commercial use fonts. So if you have a client project, all of the fonts on here that you can find that are downloaded from this site are free for commercial use. I will mention that once you click on, once you find one that you want, if it says download OTF, that is a site that is from this website. Sometimes they'll stick in off-site fonts and they'll take you to an external link, and you may or may not have to pay for the font. It depends on which font. I have run into a few that are off-site, and they do request some sort of a payment, I believe. But you'll be able to see once you click on that. But if you are looking to just stay within this website, this is the text that you're looking for. And they're very easy to navigate. You can go based on classifications, or you can type in a keyword for a certain search, like a script or whatever. So this is my favorite resource of all the three. The other resource is if a client is looking for something that is really different. A lot of people use the fonts on fontsquirrel.com. So if they're looking for something more unique for branding purposes, MyFonts.com is a great resource to check out. All of these fonts do require payment. They can be very inexpensive and very expensive. So the prices vary quite a bit. You can also, once you click on one font, for example, they'll usually give you gallery photos of how this font has been used in various projects, so you can see how people have used the particular font for different projects, which is neat. Okay, and all of these have an option for you to, right here, type in what you want to read, want the font to preview, and it will show you what the font looks like based on the text that you want to use it for. So if you already know the text of your logo, feel free to type that in and it will give you more a more clear idea of how that font's really going to look in your letters that you're using. Once you buy a font from here, it will show up in your account and you can download it right from the site. If you use a website like Dafont.com or Squirrel, we'll just come down here and let's see. All right, you click download. It will show up in your download bar down here or wherever your downloads show up on your computer screen. And then you can double click it and you'll look for the picture of the blank page with the text in the corner or the letter in the corner. In this example, it's A. This is a plain text document, and that is just the licensing information about the font. So if you double click this, you'll see the font show up here and you click install. A lot of these fonts will come with multiple things that you'll want to come and click. They'll have 3 or 4 or maybe even more of these options depending if the font comes in bold, italic, light, all that stuff. So if there's more than one, make sure you double click each of them and install each of them if you want to have those on your computer. And then once that's been installed, when you open either your Corel program or your Photoshop Elements program or whatever software you're using, this name will now be included in your font dropdown within the program. So you'll be able to use this within your software. So it's very easy to install the fonts and it's a lot of fun. Sometimes I even send my clients over to these websites to have them take a look to see if they see one that jumps out of them also, depending on if you want your clients to be involved in the design process or not. But they seem to enjoy it for the most part with the projects that I do work closely with clients on. So there are 3 great resources. Look into each of them, figure out what works best for you, and I hope you find this helpful. I will see you in the next section.